Oleksandr Usyk almost knocks out Tyson Fury, but earns a split decision victory in 12 rounds to become the new undisputed heavyweight champ. But will we see a rematch in October? We're going to find out what Coach Gogue thinks right after this.
Holdings proudly presents Warwick Radio with 5-decade fight trainer, Coach James Gogue.
Why, thank you, Pat Summerall. Guys, we saw a great weekend of boxing, and not just in Saudi. Boy, ESPN Top Rank featured a great card as well. And guys, to get the skinny on everything and to find out what the coach with the best eyes in the business says, well, guys, it's time to chat with our dear friend, Coach James Gogue. James, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Joe, I'm doing good. It was a great fight yesterday. Lived up to the hype. Now we have a undisputed world champion, heavyweight world champion, something that hasn't been done in 25 years. And you got to say, Oleksandr Usyk is one of the top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the world. You got, unified the undisputed heavyweight champion. Then you got the undisputed super bantamweight champion in Inoue. Then of course Crawford, the undisputed welterweight champion. 3 undisputed champions in this era of boxing, which is pretty damn rare nowadays with all those belts. But it was a great fight. Usyk. He had him out of there, but the rope saved him and the bell saved him.
Yep, indeed. Well, let's knock that out because there seems to be a lot of discussion and a lot of debate regarding referee Mark Nelson's decision to basically say that, well, the ropes are the only thing that kept him from staying on his feet, and he intervened. And he started the 8 count. Did you agree with that ruling? And why do you think the unofficial scores at home feel that they deprived Oleksandr Usyk of a clean knockout?
Yeah, the rope. If the ropes wasn't there, he would have been on his ass. Okay, that it saved him from being knocked. An official. Knock. It was an official knockdown, but an obvious knockdown. Anytime that happens where you're on the way going down and the rope saves you, it's considered a knockdown. And I guarantee you, if he would have been put on his ass, I don't think Fury would have got up because he was hurt real bad. The only thing that kept him up was his heart, his will, and them ropes.
Yep, indeed. But I tell you what, so you think Mark Nelson made the right call? In my opinion, Gogue.
Yeah.
I think that's the only call you can make, especially with what's at stake.
That's how they're trained, Joe. Mm-hmm. If the fighter's going, fighter gets hit with a shot and he's and he's stumbling back and the rope saves him from getting knocked down, that's a knockdown in boxing. That's how they're trained. Okay. So it don't matter what you say, what I say, what the rules are and how they're trained. Okay. It was an official knockdown.
There it is. It's an official knockdown. And once again, guys, the only guys who seem to be complaining about this is that they had some skin in the game. Either they had a late round stoppage bet for Usyk, or they were rooting for Usyk.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they're complaining, because no one in this business is complaining except for maybe Al Bernstein or Steve Kim. That's it. And once again, those guys are rooting for Usyk also, especially Steve Kim. But that's neither here nor there, guys. You're not going to get that kind of bias account on this show. We're here with Coach James Gogue. Now, Gogue, did you care who won or lost, or did you just want to see a great fight for the fans?
I just wanted to see a great fight. I just wanted to see it live up to the hype. Hey, Joe, this is the pinnacle of boxing. This is for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Last time that happened was 25 years ago with what, Holyfield Lewis? Yeah.
Holyfield Lewis, or you could say more specifically, 2 undefeated champions, right? Michael Spinks versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but Joe, I'm talking about in the last 25 years, okay?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
It was Lewis, Lennox Lewis, and Holyfield. And it's a rare occasion. You're talking about a quarter of a century. And it had a lot of hype. A lot of money was on the line. So, it was a fight highly anticipated in the boxing world. People wanted to see it, and it lived up to the hype, especially the back, going down the stretch, Oleksandr Usyk, boy, had everybody on their toes, especially in that 9th round. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, the way I called it, and I want to thank all of you guys for joining me yesterday afternoon when Lee and I called it, as well as our brother Adam Lopez, and we found ourselves just screaming at the top of our lungs. It was that exciting. And honestly, I thought it was just going to be a points chess match, not a whole lot of violence or drama, but that was as dramatic as it gets, Coach Gogue.
Yeah.
That was breathtaking.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's start talking about the fight, guy. Well, let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat, and then we're going to get Coach Goge's breakdown of what went wrong for Tyson Fury and what went right for Oleksandr Usyk. And he's going to tell you exactly what his trainer's eye saw and sees from this point forward. Can't wait for that. Troll Master Mike, welcome to the show, sir. Down for a rematch or Fury versus AJ?
Yeah.
Coach Gogue? What do you think? Would you rather see a rematch? Hell yes.
Oh, man, this has a rematch. You're talking about a great fight, a great finish. When that happens, the public is going to want to demand a rematch. Yeah, so. And they got one October 27th, I think, or 28th, So.
Yeah, well, that's if Usyk doesn't choose to retire or Tyson Fury. Now, once again, if you saw
man, there's too much fucking money at stake. They're not going to walk away with $1 million, 50, and give me that shit. There's too much. They already signed on the dotted line. They both agreed to it. There's going to be a rematch because it's just they're not going to walk away. If not from $50 million. No way.
Well, I tell you what, we'll see, guys, because that was some fight. And Coach Gogue, now, whenever there's an exciting first fight, often what happens is the second fight doesn't deliver in terms of drama or action. Do you see this one being any different? Like, you could go to Gaddy Ward 2, you could go to Ollie Frazier 2. Very seldom, often you'll see the second one not live up to the billing.
Well,
the first one.
Lennox Lewis, not Lennox. Fury and Wilder 2 was a great fight.
Oh, yeah.
3 was even better. Yeah, come on, man. It's heavyweights. Yeah.
You're right. Heavyweights, a theater than expected. Holyfield versus Bo also.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Yeah.
1 and 2.
I tell you what. There it is, guys. So, yeah, that's got my vote. And Trollmaster also says, or AJ versus the winner of Zhang versus Wilder. That's happening on June 1st, guys. That's in the main event now because my Arthur Baturbiev got hurt. Rodney Evans, thank you for the welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Hell yeah, love to hear the coach take cause. In my opinion, Fury gave the fight away. The knockdown gave the Usyk the win.
Yep, that knockdown sealed the victory. Tyson Fury needed a knockout in the last round to win. You know what I mean? Not a 10-9 round, but a knockout. That knockdown pretty much gave him, a 10-8 round.
And there it is. Thank you for joining us, Rodney. As far as the first part of your question, Gogi's going to get right to that in just 1 second. Jesus M. Welcome to the show, sir. And he says, saludos, Coach. Usyk, now number 1 pound for pound, unless Crawford impresses versus Israel Madrimov. What is his name? Madrimov. My apologies. At 154 pounds on August 3rd. Is he your number 1 pound for pound right now, Coach?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, Oleksandr Usyk. He's a heavyweight, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It's the pinnacle of boxing, baby. Okay,
it's the
creme de la creme. Nothing against Inoue, but he's a little guy. This guy's the heavyweight, right? The heavyweight champion of the world, undisputed. Oh, he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world, Usyk.
Yep, and there it is, guys. There it is. I'll tell you what. So thank you, Jesus Sam. He agrees with you. Outlaw, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Love to see you here, man. Iceman, 114, 113 Fury. Honestly, I scored it the exact same way. Coach, how did you score the fight?
The other way. That knockdown sealed the deal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, it was a close fight, man. It was a close fight, but back half of the fight, this is like I always say, professional boxing, championship boxing, elite level boxing is a grueling marathon. It's not a sprint. Therefore, you might have it easy the first half, but the second half of the fight, the momentum switches and you got to bite down and you got to be a resilient competitor like Oleksandr Usyk was. You got to have a high degree of mental intestinal fortitude, mental toughness to keep forging ahead. Okay, to keep Joe? Chopping at that tree. Keep chopping at that tree until it starts falling down. And Usyk, you got to give him credit for having that mindset, that mental intestinal fortitude. Just a resilient competitor he is, man. Never gave up faith that he can win the fight. He just kept on plugging away because of his mental toughness. And from round 7 on, round 8 on, the momentum clearly shifted to his side.
Indeed. I tell you what, and great fighters often make that adaptation and adjustment, and they put it in a different gear when their career depends on it. When the fight is in the balance, that's what we see from the great fighters. And Usyk, make no mistake about this, guys, like him or not, he is a great fighter. What did you call him? And I was using your term yesterday when I was making the call, Coach. You used to call him a cerebral predator.
A very intelligent predator. He knows how to make those adjustments. He knows how to adapt. Joe, it's this amateur background. Well, when you had as many amateur fights as that guy had, I don't know, 300, you learn.
Over 300.
You learn how to adjust on the fly. You learn how to win. Okay, you know how to make those championship level adjustments. He did, and it was just, like I said, a combination of all his work. How old is Usyk? 35?
He's 37, I want to say. 37, 38, one of those. He's an old man. He's getting up there.
Well, all those years.
Let me double check. Let me double check, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, all those years of him being in boxing, all those amateur fights he had at the highest level. Come on, man. That's something you can't buy. That's something you can't teach. He experienced it, all that. He knew what it took, to bite down and win. Yeah, he without a doubt is the best pound for pound fighter in the world, man. He beat Joshua, and then he beat Fury last night. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Yeah.
There it is, guys. And once again, all that amateur background, just like Vasyl Lomachenko, right? That's the equivalent of having a PhD, your doctorate in any field. That's it.
How old is Usyk?
Oleksandr Usyk's 37 years old, sir.
Oh, he's 37. Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, I thought he was around 35, 36, 37. Yeah, he's pretty much reached the pinnacle of boxing. You know what I mean? Another year or so, he'll start going downhill.
Yep. Especially if he stays in the heavyweight division and keeps competing against the elite of the heavyweight division. Yep. Guys, I tell you what, the great matchups to be made, but Usyk, I don't think he's interested in only fighting anyone else but Fury. I think maybe he's got one fight tops, and that's the rematch, or a rubber match if Fury wins the second. But that's about it for Usyk, guys. He's got nothing else left to prove in this business.
How much did they make? Millions. Why?
From what I was told, the just the main event purse was over 100 million.
How did they split?
60-40.
So if it's 100 million, Tyson Fury got 60 and Usyk got 40.
Yep, the purses. I'm going to be writing an article and I'm going to be revealing the exact purses tomorrow, guys.
Well,
So
60
look for that
million.
on. Go ahead, sir.
Well, 60 million for Fury and 40 for Usyk. It's going to change next time.
Yes, it
More
is.
like a 70-30 split. In favor of Usyk.
We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see. That's all contingent on what Turkey Al-Sheikh thinks. He's the one who calls the shots. He's the one who pays the bills.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Gogue, what did you think of that production last night? Did you think it was fitting of a fight of this caliber?
Oh, it was excellent. All around, it was excellent. I got to watch a couple of fights. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Outstanding.
Good,
Outstanding. I thought the commentary did a great job also. I ordered it on DAZN. I thought they did a fantastic job.
You can also order it on payperview.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there it is, guys. Here to there. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for joining us yesterday during the live coverage. Cheers, Coach.
Yeah.
Joseph, classic fight in Saudi, and a nice scrap in Norman Jr. versus Santillan.
Yeah.
Great day of fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be saving our Gogue's review of that top-ranked card in the back half of the show. Big Luke from New York. Welcome to the show, sir. They call him Big Luke. I call him brother. Thank you for supporting the coach on this day, my man. He's been supporting the coach, for 14 years now?
What up, Big Luke?
There it is. Iceman, Fury, Wilder, delivered. Yes, the third one. Indeed. That was a great heavyweight fight. Iceman, respectfully, I disagree. I had it to 115, 112.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that also. There were several swing rounds that could have gone either way. Khalid, welcome to the show, sir. Hell of a fight. I'm glad Usyk rightfully got the decision. Judges got it right. Good ref also. Yes, sir. That's it, brother. That's it. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured, Troll. Let's see. Here to there says, yesterday's co-feature also showed how good Usyk's clutch Bradis 12th round knockout was also, or 12th round was also. His resume is beyond reproach. Yeah, like say what you want, guys. Marius Bradis, he still has bricks in his gloves. The old man can still crack. He may not have the endurance or the activity, but man, he really made it interesting in the back third of that co-main event. But congratulations to Jayo Pataya, who won the title again. Mark Blake, welcome to the show, sir. Good evening to you, brother, and thank you for supporting the coach, my friend. But with that said, coach, let's mosey on down to the fight. King Rai. King Rai. Usyk is pound for pound number one. Yes, sir. He sure is. Definitely not Devin Haney. But I will say this, coach, to start out the fight, were you a bit surprised that Fury was trying to keep things at range and Usyk was really showing expert craft in cutting off the ring and closing the distance effectively and finding range as early as midway round one?
Yeah. Joe, it comes down to all the years he's been in boxing. He knows how to, when he was at smaller weights, he knew how to cut the ring off and close that distance. Okay? When he was fighting in the amateurs, the skills he developed a long time ago. What Fury was bringing to the table ain't nothing he's never seen. It's just the bigger weight, you know what I mean? Bigger size guy. Yeah, it didn't surprise me at all, on how easy he made it look in closing the distance. Okay. Because, when you have that many amateur fights and you fought all types of different levels of competition, all types of styles, I'm pretty sure he's ran into a lot of guys like Fury where he had to close that distance, okay? Or cut the ring off and close that distance. And Fury, he first 7 rounds, I thought he had good control of the fight. You know what I mean? It was comfortable. It was comfortable to him. He hurt Usyk a couple times. The sweeping right hook to the body, the right uppercuts. You know what I mean? He got his attention early on. Yeah. And he was controlling the fight the first 7 rounds pretty much. Maybe Usyk, maybe one, maybe a couple rounds. Yeah. Yeah, it was close. But yeah, the way he was controlling that distance didn't surprise me at all because I thought that's what he would do. He would have to do to win the fight. Keep him at bay. Don't let him get close like he did in the second half of the fight. But one thing I was surprised, I thought he was going to use some physicality, use that height, his size, his weight, and be physical with Usyk like he did with Wilder. Push him around. You know what I mean? Pushed him back like in the second and third fight when he fought Wilder. I thought he was going to use that size to his advantage and wear Usyk down, and he didn't. He was more, circling him around the ring, being too, finesse that first half of the fight and everything. You know what I mean? I thought he would be more physical, which he didn't. That's one thing he's going to have to change in the rematch. He's going to have to get more physical. Yeah. Use his weight.
Coach, and I know they brought in Mark Nelson because he's a guy who doesn't allow a lot of excessive holding in a fight, but I don't think they had to worry about it in this fight, in my opinion. Every time Fury tried to clinch early, Oleksandr Usyk did an amazing job of tucking in his elbows, working on the inside, or turning Tyson, not allowing him to hold it.
Yeah. Comes down from, like I said, skill sets he's developed since he was small. You know what I mean? Knowing how to prevent a guy from tying him up, keeping him elbows tucked in so there ain't none to grab. Yeah, Usyk is a very skilled, very, very skilled and highly intelligent predator. Okay. He's got, like I said, he came up through the amateur ranks as a little kid, the middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, now heavyweight, okay? All that experience and all the skills and boxing IQ he picked up along the way. Now he's a heavyweight, okay? And heavyweights, it's rare when they have all those combining factors. That's why I say he's the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, right now, man. But anyway, it was Fury. Yeah, he was showboating a lot, finesse. I thought he should have been more physical, and got his attention more. You know what I mean? He got his attention a couple of times, but I thought if he was more physical, use his weight to push him around, push him off him, back him up. Okay, then that would, put something in Usyk's head, like, yeah, this dude's too damn big, And if Fury would have hit him with a couple shots, few more good hard punches, it would have gotten his head like, Jesus, this guy can hit. You know what I mean? But you got to put that fear in a guy like Usyk, man, because like I said, professional boxing is a grueling marathon. It's not a sprint, because the second half of the fight could change in a snap of the finger, blink of an eye, and it did.
Oh, and we saw that last night. I tell you what, before we get to the pivotal 8th and 9th rounds, let's talk about that, though, Coach. When you think about it, do you think that is the reason why ultimately, and I know everyone is pointing to the knockdown exactly, and they're right, they're justified in doing that, but this is why I really don't like scoring rounds that aren't even if there's not a whole lot of separation between the two fighters and not a lot happens, right? Because ultimately those rounds, if you give them to one fighter or the other and there's not a lot of separation, that's ultimately what determines the outcome. That's why I usually like to score even rounds, but no one in the commission does any longer. They're discouraged from doing that. Why is that now? Why do the commissions not like even rounds scored these days?
Hell, that's a good question. I don't know. I can't answer that one, Joe.
because I'll say this, and just by speaking with commission members, their logic is like Greg Alvarez. I've asked Greg Alvarez, and he goes, look, these guys are getting paid. They're trained to do their job. If they can't determine a winner,
Yeah.
Even if there's minimal action, if they can't determine a winner, then they've got the wrong line of work.
Yeah.
With that said, though, it's these fighters who ultimately suffer the price, right?
Yeah.
Because let's just face it, if they fought 6 times a year like in the good old days, then we wouldn't care, right? But if you only have 1 or 2 fights a year, boy, that outcome really determines an awful lot.
Yeah.
But I will say this, though, guys, and the reason why I'm bringing that up, if Fury did what Coach Gogue had instructed, right? Go out and push the action, make him prove that he's strong enough to deal with the big Tyson Fury, set that tempo immediately. I think Tyson would have gotten the benefit of the close competitive rounds. Your thoughts on that, sir?
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah. And he did. On one of the judges' scorecards that scored it for him.
Yeah. I saw one of the judges gave him the third and one of the judges gave him the second. But all 3 scorecards, they had Usyk winning the first and Usyk winning at least 2 or 3. They had him winning 2 of the 3 first rounds. But all the judges at ringside, they had Fury winning 5 through 7 at least, and 2 of them had 4 through 7. Midway through the fight, what changed? Why did Fury seem to dominate the entire middle of the fight?
He was still fresh. You know what I mean? He was still fresh. When the fight goes, especially a big guy, your gas tank goes down. Okay, you don't move as good. All right. When you get hit with punches, you don't take you don't take it as good when you're fresh.
Coach, do you think that Fury, all of the fluctuation in weight, all the abuse, the long layoffs, all the drinking, the partying, you think it's finally catching up to him at age 35?
I've been telling you, Joe, you can't be doing that between fights, okay? Binge drinking, because he has mental issues and everything on a daily basis. Man, please. Drugs, alcohol, drugs and alcohol are probably 2 of the worst things you can put in your body, which makes you old real quick. That age you real quick. Alcohol, it's poison. And if you do it on a consistent basis, boy, that takes years away from your lifespan. And you could do all that. You could live that wild lifestyle. All of a sudden, you're getting ready for a fight. You cut it out for 3 months. It don't matter. Okay, the damage has been done. And going down the stretch, you know what I mean? You're not going to be as fresh in a fight. That's me. That's my opinion. Plus, Usyk was nailing them with some hard shots. That takes a lot out of you when you start getting hit with hard shots and everything. And, stuff like that, Joe. You could get in shape for a fight, but you can get in tremendous shape if you didn't drink all the time and did drugs and all that other shit. You know what I mean? And lived a crazy lifestyle like Fury. That has a lot to do with his performance, Joe. Everything he's done in the past, it caught up to him last night.
You know what? That's a very good observation, Coach, and I couldn't agree more. And so, Coach Gogue, you said Usyk was landing some hard, damaging shots. Coach Gogue, who seemed to be the stronger man yesterday?
Oh, Usyk in the back half of the fight. He finished stronger. He was landing some solid punches. You know what I mean? And that official knockdown in the 9th round, if the ropes weren't there, he would have been on his ass. He would have been flat like this. But anyway.
Tony Bellew.
Yeah, like Tony Bellew. And Usyk, boy, he got his second win. He got his mojo, the confidence and everything, the big mo on his side, the momentum. And when that happens, boy, it's a snowball effect, Joe. Yeah. And
I tell you what, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
If you're Fury, you're just gonna have to weather that storm and suck it up. You know what I mean? And he did. But he didn't finish strong.
Yep.
Like he didn't finish strong the back half of the fight, like like Usyk, and that's what cost him the title.
Yeah, and the reason why I ask who the stronger fighter appeared to be, because it was noticeable. Oleksandr Usyk seemed to be sitting on his shots, and Tyson Fury, because maybe that's because Usyk was, well, he's customarily so, and yesterday was no difference. He's always very defensively responsible, always moving, shifting angles. He's a hard target to hit cleanly. So was that Fury and Javen's game plan to hit at the target, not through the target? Because that's the way it appeared, Coach. What do you think, sir?
I don't know, Joe. I mean, hit through the target, hit at the target instead of through the target. Yeah, whatever. That's much bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Regardless,
evidently it didn't dissuade Usyk.
Yep, there it is, and that's my point, guys. I think, the shots from, I think that's also the difference in the fight as well. Usyk's shots seemed to have more consequence when he landed. Yep,
they had more impact. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And there it is, guys. And there it is. And we have a lot of questions in the chat now. Gogi, so let's put on your thinking cap. Gogi, here we go. Well, LT, welcome to the show, sir. What a fight. And what a weekend of boxing. Yes, sir. And we're going to get to the top ranked card in just 1 minute. But it says it was a similar pattern in Usyk versus Joshua. Usyk started strong. AJ got back in it. Then round 7 or 8, Usyk got a second win. Yep, he did that yesterday. And I tell you what, the fight was in the balance. He was losing the fight after 7 rounds. Coach and I both had it scored 5 rounds to 2 for Fury. His back was against the wall. And boy, he came up big. And let's talk about the pivotal now 8th and 9th rounds. What started the demolition? What started the difference in your mind, Coach? In round 8, because it looked like Fury was seemingly distracted.
I don't know, Joe. You told he was getting hit. He was an easier target to hit from round 8 on. All right, he was right. He was right in range, and Fury's defense was, what do you call it? Non-existent. He had his hands low. His hands were like this. The guy was right in front of him. You're in the guy's punching range. And with a guy who can hit like Usyk, and he hits you with them sharp, compact punches, and your hands are like this, no defense. He should have had his hands up protecting him. He deserved to get hit because of his lack of defense at close range and everything. But you were telling me he broke his nose or something like that in the eighth round, but that ain't no fucking excuse. When you break, he got his nose broke or something like that. He still had his hands low, okay, in Usyk's punching range. You know what I mean? You look at them punches he got hit with, Joe. His hands were right here instead of right here, trying to block and pick it off and everything. You know what I mean?
Yep. But in the final 20 or 25 seconds of the 8th round, Usyk, he got a second win. He was punching the most. He had the most the quicker work rate, the most work rate, and he started landing shots. He started to be more aggressive, got a second win, and he landed a left hook in the final 25 seconds of the round 8. And that seemed to really hurt Tyson Fury. Broke his nose and caused that big swelling under his right eye, in which he had to go to the hospital and get it checked out. And from that point forward, he was consistently touching his nose, touching his eye, and it was a big distraction. And that's usually a sign, and Javen told me this, that's when he resets, when he touches his nose, right? And Oleksandr Usyk, obviously, and his team did a great job doing their homework, saw that, jumped on him, and that's when they hurt him in round number 9. Coach Gogue, what were you thinking when you saw Usyk hurt Tyson Fury? I think that's the worst I've ever seen him hurt. throughout his entire career. Your thoughts when that was happening live?
Oh, the momentum changed of the fight. That happens in boxing, okay? Momentum shifts. They go back and forth and everything. Going down the stretch, Usyk, like I said, he had his mojo. He had the momentum on the side, the big mo. And he started nailing with them shots. I'm like, oh, that's why it's a championship level fight, Joe. Okay? It happens.
Yeah.
Nothing. Hey, Joe, it happens. It's boxing. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Simple.
sir.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be all sunshine and sunny weather out there the whole fight for Fury. I knew, you know, after the first 3 or 4 rounds, okay, it's 4 or 5 rounds, it's getting easy for him. But I knew the momentum would change. Okay, circumstances would change for Fury. I just had that feeling, okay, because I know how resilient and mentally tough Usyk is. He's gonna keep what do you call it? Chopping that tree down. Keep chopping that tree down. Keep chopping that tree down. Even if he takes some punches, he's gonna keep forging ahead. And he did. He changed the tide. That 8th round, I say, but the 9th round for sure. When he dropped him, I go, oh man, all the momentum is on his side, man. Yeah,
overwhelmingly. It was quite something to watch live, guys, and we were all the beneficiaries of it. That was a great heavyweight fight. Now, Coach Gogue, it's funny, and like in other sports, college football, when the other team has a momentum and they seem to be rolling, college basketball also, NBA, NFL, MLB, you don't have a timeout in boxing, do you?
Nah, mano a mano, man on man. Yeah, you got to suck it up. That's what makes boxing so intriguing, makes it so thrilling. Okay, when a fighter, you know, everything's going wrong for the fighter, all of a sudden he changes it. You know, within a snap of the finger, the momentum changes and it gets on his side. Yeah, and that's what happened with Usyk, man. Yeah, he started coming alive, man. He started getting that mojo, that momentum on his side, because he was starting to land them hard physical shots on Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury, you know, he started to slow down because that's going to happen. A big guy like him, you know what I mean? And his hands are low like this. You know, you're going to get hit by a guy like Usyk, especially you're right here and your hands are down. I guarantee you're not going to slip those punch. You're going to get hit, especially, you know what? Your reflexes are not as good going into the second half of the fight if you get tired, if you get fatigued. Your reflexes slow down. You don't see them punches as clearly. Okay, that's what happened. Boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what. So when that happened, Coach, did you anticipate Fury? Because I'd never seen him hurt like that. Not even against Deontay Wilder when he got knocked down 3 times over 3 fights. Never. That was ridiculous. Like, to be honest with you, Coach, did you think there's no way he's going to come back from that?
The ref gave him a long count when he got that knockdown. Then the bell ended. All right, the bell rang. If it was like a minute left in the round, Usyk would have finished him off. Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't disagree with that, and I don't think anyone would.
Nah.
Definitely not Mark Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was battered quite literally from pillar to post. Yeah. So I tell you what, let's go to the chat once again before we finish things off with the main event in Saudi. Rolling with the punches. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, that shirt reminds me of Budweiser. I've seen that shirt and wanted to crack one open.
It says Team Scott or something like that. I don't know. Somebody gave me this shirt a long time ago. Yeah.
Yep, but it does look just like the Anheuser-Busch logo.
Yeah.
Good eye, man. Good eye. Antonio Luna, welcome to the show, sir. Good to see you, my friend. Good evening, Warwick Radio family. What does Usyk do next, Coach?
Oh, the rematch, man. That's where the money's at. Then retire after that. Fuck, he did it. If he beats Fury in the rematch, get the hell out of boxing. Shit. Yeah, he don't need, he's going to make millions, probably 50, 60 million in his next fight. Yeah, get the hell out. Yeah.
There it is, guys. There it is. Coach knows not only what goes on in the ring, but outside of it as well. And he also says, and does Lomachenko have a chance to become undisputed at 35 at this age?
Nah.
Yeah.
Too many
what's standing in?
politics.
Yeah.
Politics.
Yep. Yep. But I tell you what, we'll get to that part of the question in the back half of the fight, because I do want to ask Coach what he thinks on the mythical matchup, because I'm talking this up as a mythical matchup. We're going to ask Coach Gogue what he thinks about, several participants in this weekend in mythical matchups. The cruiserweight division, heavyweight division, all that good stuff, guys. But let's move on. Also, Bruce Cats Boxing Jazz and more. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. We appreciate it, brother. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to Bruce, please go do that at this time. Great boxing aficionado. Mark Blake, he says, did Usyk have a broken jaw? Fury said that in the post-fight presser. Look, from what I've been told, he went to the hospital as a precaution, but imaging stated that he didn't have a fracture in his jaw. He was fine. But it was catching those uppercuts from Tyson Fury in the early to mid rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Boy, so, Usyk, Coach, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, Usyk was landing some hard shots on Fury. Ooh.
Yep.
I mean, flush, right on the money. Ooh.
Yep. And as early as the second round, Fury somehow couldn't see the left hook around the guard. He didn't adapt to that until about the fourth round. That's when he started to press the action, go to the body. Coach, it's funny and Antonio, our friend Antonio, brought up Vasyl Lomachenko. Those guys in the Ukraine, they don't seem to fight as well moving on their back foot. Why do you think Tyson Fury didn't notice that? Because you look at the Derek Chisora fight, one of Usyk's first fights at heavyweight. He didn't look very good, constantly moving, backpedaling, using the entire ring. He won the fight, and I didn't have a problem with the scorecards. I thought he won the fight as well. But why didn't Fury implement that strategy, sir? That's what you would have done.
You mean back up Usyk?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. You need to talk to Sugar and them guys, find out what this
Well, guys, he's going to be on the show on Wednesday, so we're going to be talking to Sugar. So we're going to be asking him those same questions. And Gogi's right. That's a no-brainer, right, Gogi? Or maybe it isn't. Maybe you're just you just see things that other people don't. But
I thought he should have been more physical. Okay.
Yeah.
Pushing him back.
Yeah. I tell you what,
using that weight and size advantage. Okay. Yeah, but I mean,
well,
he had 30 pounds of weight on him. Okay. So.
Yep. I tell you what, that didn't equate to torque on his shots though.
Yeah.
And there it is. Alonzo Amazing. Thank you for joining the show, sir. And thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Yes, guys, please, if you can, click the likes for the coach, please. Here to there says, why did Fury stop going into the body? The body work in the mid-rounds turned the fight, and Usyk was hurt.
That's what I was saying. Should have been more physical. Okay, when you're physical and you pushing the guy back, you could work inside, hit the guy with body shots. But them long-range uppercuts to the body or the sweeping right hooks to the body, he should have threw more. I would have definitely added a little bit more of that to the game plan. Attacking the body more with them, sweeping right hands, right hooks, or the right uppercuts. When you're in range and everything. But inside, being physical, pushing him back, hitting that body, coming back with them uppercuts, just like when he fought Wilder, man. Just having a more physical, a physicality, a physical mindset, attacking him, man. You know what I mean? Wearing him down more. Okay. But he chose to play the finesse game the whole night. So the finesse game meaning staying at range and distance as much as possible.
Yeah, you know what? And for the entire middle of the fight, through from rounds 4 through 7, those 4 rounds, that seemed to be working for Fury. In fact, he made
Yeah.
the fight look easy. What was he doing so effectively, Coach, that made it look that easy?
Shit, he was the body shots was one. The right uppercut, he got his attention early on, Joe. Okay,
Mm,
but once you get
mm.
your fighter's attention, your opponent's attention, it makes your game plan work so much easier. Okay, it makes your fight so much easier where you can execute. You know, uh, working. Uh, working at distance and everything. When you hit your guy from distance and you hurt him with some good shots, even the sweeping right hooks to the body, or that right uppercut to the body, or the right uppercut to the chin. Okay, boom. Okay, you got your opponent knows that you hurt him. Therefore, he ain't gonna want to come closer. Okay, and that therefore, if you don't want to come closer, you can control range and distance better. But you know, the range and distance always changes in the fight. Okay, it goes from it could go long to medium to short or whatever. It just mixes up during the course of a fight. And as the fight went on, it got closer and closer where Usyk wanted it, where he can land them short right hooks, the straight left hands, and stuff like that. You know, the looping, the little left hook, right hooks. He was nailing Fury with. Okay, but that's why it was easy for Fury, because he got his attention early on. I seen it, man, when he hit him with that uppercut, when he hit him with that body shot.
Yes.
It froze him. It froze Usyk, and Usyk, it got his attention. He wasn't too, what do you call it, anxious
Yep.
to close that distance. Yeah. But
in fact, he started to back up. Yeah.
Range and distance always changes in the fight, and Usyk just said, okay, I'll just weather the storm earlier, but in the back half of the fight, I'll get that distance I want. And what you did, you started landing them big bombs.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed it as well, too, when I was calling the fight live. And, Coach, this is the benefits of meeting with Coach Gogue live every Sunday, because we learn something new every single episode. And when I was watching the fight, what do you always say about feints? And how do you get a feint to be effective?
A feints?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Once you start nailing your guy with punches, once you start feinting him, he starts biting it. He starts becoming hesitant. Yeah. Once you start nailing a guy with some good shots, that's when feints work best. Once you start feinting him, opponent starts getting more hesitant. He starts getting out of his game plan offensively because he's too worried about what you're doing. So he's more on the defensive. Yeah. That's one of the advantages of feints. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It messes up with your psychologically. It messes you up psychologically.
That's it, guys. And once again, I noticed that right there in the first minute of round number 4. That's when the tide dramatically started to change and Fury started to have his way. But obviously that was short-lived. And so everything changed dramatically, 8 and 9. And so we go into the championship rounds. Are you surprised Fury didn't have that same sense of urgency, even though Javen was doing a pretty good job of chewing that ass? Do you think he just couldn't do it at that point, Coach Gogue?
A lot of it, like I said, the conditioning factor. And you can yell all you want to your fighter, okay? But if he doesn't have that conditioning to do it, you know what I mean? If he's fatigued, okay? It don't matter what your coach tells you in the corner. You know what I mean? To me, him not taking care of his body, being a Spartan warrior, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you know what I mean? Has a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot to do with his performance last night. When you're drinking all the time because, his mental problems and all that, and, and you're consumed with drugs and all that, that's the 2 worst things you can put in your body besides smoking a cigarette. It's drinking and drugs. It kills your body. It ages you fast. And when you age fast, you're not in the tip-top condition you are when you were younger. Your reflexes slow down. You know what I mean? your motor skills slow down, your everything, Joe. Because all the drugs all the drugs and the alcohol over the years, like I said, it could turn you from 25 to 45 in a short period of time. Yeah.
You've seen it happen, Coach.
Oh, I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen it happen so many times in fighters. Excess, the drugs, the alcohol, they age real quick. And, I seen 21 years old, Mondo Ramos, Don Chargan told me.
Oh, boy.
He was a shot fighter. Wilfred Benitez, 26. Matthew Hilton, when he was 25, 26. They were done. You know what I mean? And many, many other fighters out there that, abuse their body with drugs or alcohol that never, got to fight into their prime years, 30 years and on. You know what I mean? I mean, it has a lot to do with it. People, you just can't abuse your body with drugs and alcohol and, expect it not to have a negative effect on your body. Okay. It ages you real fast, man. And when he fought Wilder, the first 3 fights, I thought that was peak Tyson Fury. Then he started having problems with the drinking and all that, and all that stuff. He probably had problems with drinking before that too. I don't know the guy, but he probably and all that over the years, all that, kills your body, destroys, it destroys all, your internal organs, your motor skills, everything, your brain, everything, because it's poison entering your body. Okay.
Yep. That's right.
You can't do that, man. And to me, all the years of drinking and I don't know if the guy uses drugs or not, but the drinking, I heard he had a drinking problem. And
well, look, when he fought Vladimir Klitschko and then took 3 years off, from what he's actually admitted, he was skiing on a regular basis, if you know what I mean.
Oh, right there,
going
Joe.
down those downhill snow slaloms, right?
Well,
I should say uphill.
Yeah.
But guys, Coach Gogue is absolutely right, guys. If your career depends on your physical
conditioning,
physical health and conditioning, then why the hell would you do that?
Poison your body, man. They don't know. They'll regret it when they're old. When they get old like me, they'll regret it. They're like,
and
Jesus.
There it is.
Look at De La Hoya. De La Hoya was saying the same thing, man. If I didn't drink and all that stuff I did, the drugs, I could have boxed longer. You know what I mean? Then you got a guy like Hopkins who treats his body
50.
like a temple, who only puts what do you call it? The healthiest foods. He doesn't eat sweets, doesn't do drugs, alcohol, none of that stuff. And he could win a title at 46 years old, 45 years old, another title at 45, 46. Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
That's the difference, guys. That's the difference. So once again, Boxing Source, my brother J.R. Bell. Guys, you can listen to him co-host Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields every Tuesday. He says, Coach Gogue, I was surprised that Fury had his hands low. That opened the door for Usyk to land those solid left hands. Why did he do that, Coach?
Habits you do in the gym, you're going to take to a fight. He's probably doing that in practice.
Yep.
Yeah. And he probably was getting away with it with the sparring partners he had to slip those punches and everything. To slip those punches and everything. But this is a fight, okay? And he's fighting a highly skilled predator.
Yep.
A guy that knows how to land them with compact, short punches. Okay. A guy that knows how to set those traps inside and land them punches when you don't expect it. Okay. So it's habits. The habits you take in. He was doing that in the gym. He took it in the fight.
Coach Gogue, now you've been responsible for managing several camps, right? How would you prepare Tyson Fury for the rematch? And what kind of sparring would you choose? How do you prepare for a chameleon like Oleksandr Usyk in the ring?
So
That's tough, isn't it?
And that's their problem, not mine. That's why I gotta say.
And there it is. There it is, guys. And it's an enigma. That's what I'm saying. You've got to prepare for every single range, everything that he's going to show you, everything that he's capable of doing in the ring. That's a tough assignment, guys. That's a tough assignment. Hands of Stone says, Usyk landed that big shot and it changed the fight. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So, Coach Gogue, let's move on now. Your final thoughts on what we just witnessed yesterday from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, fight was great. I want to see the rematch, and I want to see it in October, like they said. But yeah.
Yep.
It was a great fight. And when you got a fight and it creates a lot of buzz, the rematch is warranted. And from what I hear, they agreed October 27th or whatever. And the problem ain't the money. They're going to put up the money. It's just, getting, man, you ain't going to turn down 60, 70 million dollars, 50, 40, 50 million. It ain't going to happen.
Now, take us into the mindset of a fighter, because you're saying that like that as the absolute truth. Take us into the mindset of someone like Oleksandr Usyk, someone whose country has been going through what it's been going through. And right now, I'm not sure where he's living. I don't know if he's currently still residing in Ukraine. I don't know if he's relocated to Poland, but he's already made more money than he ever thought that he would ever have, thanks to the Saudi Arabians in staging several fights there now, in which he's received total purse amount of almost $100 million, right? Does he come back and actually fight? Does he still have the hunger? What else does he have left to prove?
Money, Joe. That's all. He ain't got shit to prove. Just get the money, one last payday, and get the, I will retire, get the hell out of the business. Yeah.
There it is. Something tells me that a very dear friend of ours, who's also a coach, feels the same way.
Yeah. Let's get the fucking money and run. I mean, he ain't got nothing to prove.
There it is. Our brother Sly says, "What's up, Joe? Thank you for supporting the coach on this day." He says, "I had Fury winning, but feels like a lot of folks are basing the entirety of the fight solely on the 9th round." Well, that's the one that jumps out to you now, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, that was a change. That changed the whole momentum of the fight, man. Yeah, he had all the momentum of the fight going from round 9 on. Yeah, 10, 11. Yep. Yeah.
There it is, guys. There it is. We want to welcome Andrew Murphy to the show. Thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Usyk will knock him out in a rematch. It's all over for Tyson Fury. He had his chance and he blew it big time. Coach, from what you've seen from Tyson Fury, or do you think, that this is the end of the line? What are your thoughts?
He sure it looked like he aged a lot this fight.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, it's his lifestyle that brought him to that point last night. Okay. His, not taking care of himself, not treating his body like a temple, like Bernard Hopkins. And it showed last night in the fight, especially going down the stretch. That's when you gotta have that championship level conditioning. Your body's got to be able to, get that second and third win, what do you call it? Battle back against a resilient warrior like Usyk, who was getting all the momentum on the side. You got to be able to change the momentum and get it back on your side. That's all this game is at the championship level. It's playing chess and getting the momentum back on your side. Because, sometimes during a fight, you're going to lose it and the other guy's going to get it. Then you got to respond and be a champion and get that momentum back. Take control of the fight, I tell my fighters, and get that momentum back on your side. Yeah.
That's it, guys, because the judges at ringside, they don't just look at clean, effective, and consequential punches. They look at who's dictating the pace of the fight, who's controlling range.
Who's got control of the fight, okay?
That's it. Yep. And so that's it, guys. And so, Coach Gogue, thank you for your breakdown of the entire fight. we're already an hour in, so let's move on.
Hey, Joe, let's call it a day, man. I told you an hour. That's it. I don't. Yeah.
Very good. I tell you what, Coach. I'm going to stay on a little long because we have a lot of questions.
Okay.
And so go ahead, Coach Gogue, your parting shots, though, man, for the what's coming up.
No, it was a great fight, and I expect a rematch because anytime you got a great fight, you strike when the kettle's hot. And they already agreed October 27th, and the money ain't the problem. Now it's just getting both fighters, and the man and both camps together to close the deal. Yeah, and I think the second fight's going to be even just as good. Now, Tyson Fury, if he doesn't take care of his body and he parties a lot and then doesn't, you know what I mean, he's going to get knocked out in his next fight. Yeah. But if he stays off the drugs and the alcohol and takes a couple of weeks off in the gym and takes a couple of weeks off, rest his body, get back in the gym to get in better conditioning. Okay. Take his conditioning to the next level, then he'll be more competitive. But if he's going to party and have a good time and not take care of his body and just 2 months for the fight, start training, ain't going to happen. He ain't going to. It's karma, Joe. It's you reap what you sow. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Can you field one last question from our brother Jesus M, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you go. Okay, Jesus M. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. Coach, how does Giovanni Santillan make adjustments to Norman? Giovanni overly reckless aggression against. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I don't understand that. First, what was your brief assessment of what happened last night in the brilliant co-main event in which we saw, Brian Norman Jr. actually pick up the interim WBO belt in that division?
He had no
in the
defense.
Welterweight division.
He was getting hit by the same punches over and over during the fight. First, I've seen Norman fight before, and I never was impressed. But this fight, he put it together, and he's a good puncher. He's a physically strong guy who was pushing the other guy back, and he was landing clean uppercuts, clean right hands, right uppercuts, left uppercuts, straight right hands down the middle. He was putting his punches together real effective, but he was exploiting them uppercuts up the middle and busted his nose up, busted his face up. That's Santillan, and he has no defense. He made no defensive adjustments to take away or prevent getting hit by that left or right uppercuts of Norman or that straight right hands. Okay, because he was coming in the direct line of the fire. He should have been staying to his right a lot. So you're not in the direct line of fire. And he just had no idea on how to defend himself against some upper. He squared up. You're going to get hit. He was overly aggressive like this.
Oh boy.
And Norman took advantage of that. His team did a good job and saw the same thing I did. And hey, we can hit this guy with uppercuts all day, straight right hands, because all he is an offense and he ain't got no defense. And I seen that first few rounds, the guy was coming on to Norman, but I looked at Norman's face and how he was handling that rough pressure. He was calm and cool. It didn't bug him. Okay, he was pushing him off. The second round when he started landing them uppercuts and straight right hands. I said, man, that guy Santillan, he keeps getting hit by those punches. He ain't gonna last because you can't be taking them punches consistently like that, coming in with your face, coming in there with no defense to not get hit by those uppercuts and straight right hands. Yeah, he typical guy. All he was worried about was offense, and he didn't have no game plan on defense and how to avoid those punches. Yeah, but anyway, it was a great performance by Norman, and it made him a name because it was a great fight. You got to give credit to Santillan, though. It takes a guy like Santillan to bring the best out of Norman. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got to give credit to Gio. Yeah.
Yep. Giovanni Santillan. And the main event, very quickly, Coach. Navarrete loses to Baranchik. Baranchik, boy, I tell you what, that was a very disjunct, strange style to have to deal with. Navarrete is not used to that, is he?
Joe, he trained in Tijuana. He didn't fight. He didn't spar any guys like that. He just sparred them typical Mexican fighters that were, that come forward, that were right in front of them, that had limited lot of, they don't have the advanced boxing skill level like this guy did. The in and out movement to throw his timing and rhythm off. That in and out movement just to make Navarrete miss a little or to make him lunge in. Okay, that footwork, to pivot around him, to turn the corner, to not stay in front of him, so you're not going to be a punching back. That quick left jab he kept on putting in his face just to keep him at bay and hitting him with them sharp combinations. But it was his footwork that won the fight. It pretty much got Navarrete out of rhythm. He had no timing and rhythm all night to get off offensively because the guy was moving good, moving intelligently around the ring, not getting hit by them solid uppercuts, lead uppercuts. That lead left uppercut that Navarrete likes to throw, it was missing by this much. Because first thing I noticed, I'm like, man, Navarrete's missing those punches by little.
Yep.
First thing I said to myself, let me look at this guy's footwork. That was it. You can barely notice it. It was just adjustments in his footwork, just moving out of range, taking one step back, taking two steps back, just to make him miss a little. Yeah, smart. And that comes from his amateur background. This guy was on the Olympic team with Usyk, Lomachenko. Okay, this guy had a big amateur background, like them guys. So they're skilled. They're skilled in and out movement. Okay, they're skilled in circling around your opponent. They're skilled in boxing it a range and distance, keeping you off, keeping you at bay, keeping you out of rhythm, keeping your timing off. Yeah, and Navarrete, he got schooled, and that wasn't no split decision. I had Baranchik winning by 4 points. I thought he really won the fight. Yeah,
that's what I was just going to ask you. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Coach.
It was his footwork. But hey, Joe, let's call it a day, man. I got to get out of here.
All right, my friend. Thank you, Coach, for donating your generous time to everyone here in the chat, brother. God bless all of you guys. And on behalf of the great Coach James Gogue, I'm Joseph Aaron. We'll speak to you tomorrow with the gossiping wonder, Rick Glazier. God bless all of you guys. Have a great week, everybody.
Holdings proudly presents Warwick Radio with 5-decade fight trainer, Coach James Gogue.